Bole Baba Ki Jai. Here we are in Paracon, Vishwa. Babaji called it the center of the universe, and you can see behind the beautiful temples over on the cave side, which we call the Gufa side. And I'm here with Dr. Arun Babu, and I'm going to ask him some questions.
Certainly.
So tell us about how did you find out about Babaji? You live way down in Kerala half the time, and the other half of the time you live in Buffalo, New York as a doctor there, traveling back and forth.
Well, I'm really very happy to be here and especially here. But the story of how I first had come to know is a little bit strange. So I had gone with my father once. He's into astrology and certain things like that. And he had gone to a place in India that is pretty famous for that. And while kind of uh, just kind of looking into my future, they had said, well, you should get a spiritual guru. So I'm generally not into going to living people like that as much, although I come from a family that's very much into going to temples, having gurus, and so on. And then they said a spiritual guru like Babaji. Of course, by Babaji, they mean someone who is not presently known to be alive in the normal sense. So I thought that was really great because I had first read Paramahamsa Yogananda's book, autobiography of a yogi, where essentially Babaji is the guru of gurus. Actually, Paramahamsa Yogananda is guru's guru. Uh, Someone who in the book is very well described as being one of the people who periodically comes down to earth to help other people. And like people who have gotten moksham and salvation, but they just want to help more people. And so the idea of having such a person as my guru certainly did catch my fancy. So while doing some meditation and so on, I thought that that might be good, and then I would try to focus on Babaji, and certainly that certainly gave a sense of great peace and comfort. But I didn't quite understand how one is going to get a guru like that, because generally, between a guru is supposed to actually tell you specific things of like what you should do, how you should pray, what mantras one should say, and so on. And it's often generally considered to be passed on by from like mouth to ear. So the idea of how some meditation and some telepathic type of contact was going to do that is something I did not quite really catch on to. And then my father had come to visit Delhi at the time, and he happened to tell me that he had heard that there was some hotel that had a table in a hotel that had a historic significance with India's independence, and he wanted to go and see it. So I kind of found the place on Google. I told him where to go, and then when he came back to Kerala, where I was, I asked him, "Well, did you go there?" He said, "No, I didn't have time. So now I will have to make another visit to Delhi just to do this, because once he wants to do something, he feels he should do it." And since I always love going on my father's little flights of small fancy, I said, sure. So we went all the way to Delhi to look at this table in this hotel. And he also wanted to visit one other pathologist who he knows, Dr. Lal. And so we went to visit him. And as soon as we walked into his office, he said, it's good that you came on this day. I can give you both each a copy of my book. And I was looking, what's the book about? Oh, this is about my guru. His name is Babaji. So I said, by Babaji, you mean, oh yes, Mahavatar Babaji. He had come and I had been there with him, and I wanted to compile all the things that he said. And the really interesting thing about this book, when compared to other books about Babaji or anybody else that I have ever actually seen, is that in this book, it's really it spells out exactly what a guru would ask you to do. Whereas all other books talk of gurus, general advice, but not the specific things that a guru can actually pass on, like what you should do, how you should pray, what mantras one should say, and so on. So this was basically presented to me. about 1 or 2 weeks after the initial little anecdote that I had mentioned. So that's how I first came to know about Babaji, or rather, how he first came to have me learn about him.
That's exactly right. Beautiful, beautiful story. Thank you. And then after that, what transpired? Did you come to Haidakhan relatively soon to his ashram here?
Well, actually, this was in the year 2019. So actually, no, then we had COVID, of course.
Mhm.
I did collect a lot of his books, and it was very interesting how almost all the different people all have some strange, unexpected way where they come to hear about him and they come to see him. And what is really interesting also is that even when he is not alive in the flesh in the normal sense, it obviously still happens. So then I was in Buffalo, and I saw that there was one ashram in the U.S. itself, and I just happened to be off for the next couple of days, so I did make the trip to come there, and it was really it's a very spiritual and peaceful place, just like in Haidakhan here, where this particular area somehow is supposed to be um, geographically uh, very blessed. In fact, I believe at the place in Colorado, in Crestone, there are more than 10 different spiritual centers,
Actually,
Buddhist,
there's
Christian.
26.
Yes,
Many,
yes.
many, yeah.
And there is a sense of peace that comes when you are there. And it is a very nice thing. And, it just happened to turn out then when I did go there, you had me do the fire ceremony, and it happened to be my birthday as well. So it was all in all a very nice thing. Yes.
I remember that.
Yes.
Yes, it's very beautiful.
And my trip here was actually some months later.
Okay. And you've been back here a few times?
This
and
is
back to Crestone also again,
yes, and this is my third visit here.
into Haidakhan.
Yes.
And why is that? Why do you come?
Oh, it's very peaceful and comforting. And plus, when you know about Babaji and when you have read his books, I mean, the whole place has its own meaning. And it's not really possible to describe what is special about the place, like in the way you normally talk about places. It's something that one really feels more than can describe.
Yes, it's a very special place.
And how many times have you come now?
It's beyond count, at least over 40. I came here in 81 first time and was fortunate to meet Babaji at that time. So I feel very fortunate. And I've come almost every year since then.
And I believe he has said that whenever someone comes here, they automatically get blessed.
That's
From
what
the
he
visit.
said. And also bathing in the beautiful Gautama Ganga River. And I think tomorrow or the next day you're going up to the Kumaon Mount
Right.
Kailash, which
Yes,
is also a
I
great
will hopefully
blessing.
make it to the top easily.
Nice. Yeah, so many blessings here. Have you meditated in the sacred cave?
Yes, I was there this morning actually. It's really very peaceful. It's also very interesting how initially it's dark and then you can see what's inside the cave after some time.
Uh-huh. Did you have a good experience?
Oh, yes, yes. It's very peaceful and very nice.
And this is the cave where Babaji reappeared, and he said that the cave led all the way back to Nepal or Tibet, and I don't know. I haven't seen that entrance, but it is a very beautiful sacred place. Well, thank you.
Oh, it was my honor and privilege. Thank
Yes.
you.
And how has it helped your service? Because you're in service, emergency doctor.
Sure, I'm a neurologist. Well, any spiritual growth, it allows you to understand yourself better. It allows you to understand other people better. It allows you to have a better sense of life, what is important, what's not, and to stay focused on the things which matter. And it's something which would help anyone in almost any work that they might be doing. And plus the peace and the comfort which comes from it. That's really good. Plus, you know that there's somebody you can mentally call on to for help when you feel that you might need it.
Yes, I understand that very well. Well, thank you.
Oh, thank you very much.
Bole Baba Ki Jai.
Bole Baba ki jai.